Any tips on overthinking social interactions? So it happens that sometimes after interactions take place, I would replay in my head a certain thing I said or did and wish that I either should have never said it or should have said something different instead. And it makes me worry about the kind of impression I might have left, and it can be stressful as I keep ruminating on these thoughts. I think it happens mostly when it's people I want to leave a good impression on. Any tips on dealing with this?
Well, we harness this, I think.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
We made this work for us, and I'm not saying that that's... We did make the best of this situation in the sense that rather than go to the root of, oh my gosh, why do I doubt myself? We're like, okay, if I have regrets at the end of this interaction, there's things I wish I did. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again? Mm-hmm. And so at times there would be literal flashcards of like, what do you do? And I'd be like, do not say consultant. Do not. And I would be like say, I have a lot of interest in hobbies right now. I've been spending a lot of time playing guitar. Or did you mean what I did for work? I would find more interesting ways to handle the interaction. And if something didn't go well, then I would think through that particular situation, what I would have done, play it over in my head, and hopefully not have the same thing happen again in a separate interaction.
Yeah, the ideal process for me at the time I was learning charisma wasn't to have a bad interaction and then shake it off. That actually wasn't what I was aiming for at the time. It was, okay, that interaction went badly. Let me try to understand why and what I wish I had done instead. And then once I got to what would have gone better, that's a good time to then release the interaction. What you don't want to do is keep beating yourself up because it didn't go well and you just hate yourself so much. So what I was aiming for is just going, okay, that conversation was boring. When did it get boring? Or, that person, we were laughing and having a good time, but neither of us is interested in meeting up. Like, what happened? I was constantly dissecting what happened. But the ideal would be once you do have a good hypothesis, you can let it go into the next interaction and test your hypothesis. Yeah. So that's what we did. That's how we got Charisma on Command was years of that trial and error problem solving. So I think the big question is, how do you let it go once you think you know what went wrong or how it could have gone better?
I guess just one tip is realize you have an inner student and your current hypothesis is that berating that inner student is the way to get them to learn. And that's why you just keep going over and over and over and over. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? See what this is bad. And that's not working. So you need to have a better teacher to that student. And that's part of that is describe, okay, here's what we're going to do next time. Here's a better version of that. Actually, this is a great mistake to have made because this was not a life or death scenario. And yes, this person, but there's going to be so many more like them. And you're going to get to do this again and again and again. So we didn't get it this time, hopefully next time. But even then, none of these are the last thing. There's part of you that is learning and part of you that is trying to teach. And right now your teacher is just doesn't have effective tools. It's just like, this was wrong. You're so stupid. And so it's to recognize, okay, that self-talk is me teaching myself and I need to be purposeful about how I do that.
All right. Last one is my ex-girlfriend of 3 years and I have been broken up for almost a year now. Things ended civilly, yet we've maintained many of our mutual friends that we had throughout the course of our relationship. Mm-hmm. Recently, we've attempted to hang out again in the same social circles instead of playing the avoidance card. For context, we live in a relatively small city and we're very much involved in the same things while dating, such as a college program, club, friends, etc.
Okay. Do
you have any advice on how or if one should work to manage this dynamic? And how can I do it in a way that is healthy and still encourages personal growth? A mindset of mine, and one that I think you've echoed on the podcast, is that in order to grow, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. However, I'm struggling to find a balance that allows our friend group to flourish while making sure I don't backtrack on progress I previously made.
Sorry, I was checking part of the text. I didn't catch the whole.
I'm confused why this person can't just go. I guess being around the ex makes them uncomfortable.
Can I reiterate just so I make sure I'm up to speed? They're in a friend group with their ex, and they feel like that can get in the way of.
They've been avoiding each other. I'll hang out with the friends this night. You hang out with the friends this night.
They can't avoid each other.
I thought they were playing the avoiding game. We've been playing the avoiding game.
No, so we've attempted to hang out again in the same social circles instead of playing the avoidance card.
Instead of.
Right, but this is just creeping up a year later, so I'm assuming for the last year they've been avoiding each other.
Well, maybe they're in the same group but not interacting. It's possible that they're at the same house, in the same room, but not directly. What is I guess, yeah, where can we identify the problem?
Can you talk into the mic?
Sorry, can we identify the problem?
Yeah, so
I think the person just feels uncomfortable around the ex. Because I'm like, well, okay, yeah, just go be in the same, go be at the same party as your ex, and it doesn't have to be weird.
So I think it sounds like this person wants to kind of be able to play the avoidance card, but you can't because you have like the same social circles, and then the physical space that they occupy is like there's a lot of overlap. It sounds like they're in college together.
Got it.
I mean, I dealt with this. It's just weird, but you just let it be weird. You just go to a thing and you see her and you go, oh, hey, what's going on? Hey. All right, yeah, it's cool. Glad things are going well. And then you just are at the same party, but you're just not necessarily talking to each other. And then eventually you get comfortable. It's like exposure therapy. You get comfortable talking to each other, and then it's not weird at all. Now you're just two people that are in the same friend group that happen to have dated. So that's how I did it. I just exposure therapied my way through it.
Yeah, I don't unfortunately have a better way than we were in a romantic relationship. We're not. It's uncomfortable to be around, and it gets less uncomfortable as time goes by. I think one of the things that I would just check your own head is is either of you hanging on to something? Are you behaving in a way where you feel like you're not allowed to flirt with other people in front of her? Is she feeling that with you? Like that's kind of, and what you're describing is a person, you, who was done with the relationship, like who truly was not trying to get back in it, who didn't want to have any control over what she did in her life because you were finished with it, who just felt, okay, I have to say hello, make this.
I had this with other people in college that I wasn't their boyfriend, but I had romantic interest. We hooked up for some period of time. Then we stopped hooking up.
Yeah, and
now
we're there.
Now we're at the same parties. And it's the same. It's like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to not come enjoy myself because I'm going to avoid this person? No. I'm going to berate them and tell them not to come because it's my fraternity? No, I'm not going to do that. They have friends in the fraternity. That's how I met them. So I just said, okay, just going to be pleasant and try to dance on the outside of my comfort zone, talk to them for as long as I feel comfortable, and then just go, okay, I'm going to go to this other group, talk to them. And then that person would hook up with people that I was friends with or acquaintances with, and I ended up hooking up with friends of hers. And yeah, it's just exposure therapy. It starts out weird and can even be hurtful the first time that one of you hooks up with someone that the other one knows. But
I'm sure that experience happened, right? Where you liked someone and they went and didn't like you back, or
I hooked up with them for a period of time, and then it stopped, and I didn't want it to stop. And then you flash forward some number of months, and they're hooking up with someone else in your fraternity because that's how you met them, and that's how they're meeting the next version of you, which is the casual hookup of the future for them. And yeah, you just go, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to not come to my own parties? No. I'm going to tell you can't come to this event that has friends you had prior to us hooking up? No. And I guess we're both going to be here. So what am I going to do while we're here? Well, I'm not going to leave the room every time you come in because sometimes I want to be in this room. So I'll just say hi. And it can be a little bit uncomfortable. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? All right, yeah, cool. And then you just go into separate conversations. And over time, it just stops being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then you can genuinely go, oh, I'm actually completely neutral to even slightly positive that you're here.
And then you meet someone that you like, and all of a sudden it doesn't matter as much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's honestly a question.
And you're hooking up with each other's friends, and it's not weird. And it just slowly gets better because you're dancing on the edge of whatever you're comfortable with. Mm-hmm. And that expands over time.
Sure. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.